The silence inside the NovaCare complex this morning is deceptive. Beneath the calm exterior of a franchise gearing up for a championship pursuit lies a pressure cooker of monumental proportions. Millions of dollars are hanging in the balance. Veterans are fighting for their professional lives, and a blockbuster contract extension could shatter NFL history at any second. This is not just another routine training camp report. This is a high-stakes psychological drama unfolding in real time under the microscope of the entire football world. Picture this. You are one of the most terrifying, unblockable forces on a professional football field, yet every single morning you walk onto the grass knowing that your long-term financial security is still dangling by a thread. That is the exact reality surrounding the interior defensive line in Philadelphia right now. Whispers are growing deafeningly loud behind closed doors. Word is spreading through league circles that a massive financial commitment could be inked in a matter of days. The focal point of this intense financial chess match is none other than a powerhouse entering a crucial chapter of his career. Having already locked down his fifth-year option, guaranteeing a secure payday down the road, the clock is ticking to finalize a multi-year partnership that will anchor the defense for the foreseeable future. Yet, a complex web of caution has delayed the final signatures. Injuries cast long shadows over the previous campaign. Dealing with persistent bilateral shoulder complications, the dominance wasn't quite as terrifyingly consistent as it was during an all-pro caliber emergence. Front office executives face a delicate balancing act. They recognize a rare, generational talent who completely collapses opposing blocking schemes, but they must also ensure that a massive investment is completely safe. Making matters even more intense, the financial landscape of the sport was violently upended just weeks ago, when a deal reset the market and made another star the highest-paid defensive tackle in history at a staggering $35.2 million per year. The baseline shifted dramatically. Now, the price tag has skyrocketed. Will the front office cave to an unprecedented financial demand, or is a historic standoff about to reach its boiling point? The anatomy of a market-shaking investment. Let us look deeper into why this negotiation is keeping executives awake at night. When a player commands this level of attention, every single snap from past seasons is dissected frame by frame. Even during a campaign hampered by physical setbacks where appearances were limited to 11 games, the impact remained undeniable. Consider the underlying metrics that make front offices terrified to let a talent like this walk away. Despite missing significant time, the disruption in the offensive backfield was staggering. Hurries piled up, pressures reached elite thresholds, and pass breakups proved that the disruption went far beyond simple stat sheets. More importantly, the psychological effect on opposing offensive coordinators cannot be overstated. Double teams are practically mandatory, which inadvertently unlocks career years for the surrounding cast members along the defensive front. Who's truly to blame for the delay in this massive contract? Drop your thoughts below. When a player dictates that much defensive attention, letting them test the open market is organizational malpractice. The front office knows this. The locker room knows this. Every single fan across the fan base knows this. Yet, the hesitation remains rooted in ensuring the medical outlook is spotless before committing generational wealth. As practices get underway this week, the pressure on both sides to sign on the dotted line reaches a deafening crescendo. A reformed mindset and a new era of calm, while the financial tension looms large on one side of the facility. A profound transformation is taking place on the offensive side of the ball. The leader of the entire operation, known for a famously stoic, unblinking demeanor, is suddenly showing a completely different side of himself. For years, the narrative around the team's star signal caller has centered on ice-water veins, a relentless, machine-like focus that leaves zero room for emotion. Critics have often mistaken this calm exterior for indifference, while supporters view it as the ultimate sign of a player who believes his squad is never truly out of a contest. But lately, something has shifted. Out on the links during the off-season, under the bright lights of specialized training sessions, and even during team workouts, a rare sight has emerged. genuine, relaxed smiles. The tension that once weighed heavily has seemingly evaporated. Perhaps it stems from the calming realization that stability has finally taken root within the offensive coaching staff, replacing uncertainty with a clear, trusted blueprint designed to elevate his game to terrifying new heights. When a quarterback plays with a light heart, spiritual peace, and total mental clarity, the rest of the league is usually in for a rude awakening. But how long can this newfound serenity last once the bullets start flying and the regular season pressure sets in? Wait until you see which veterans are currently fighting absolute panic as they stare down the barrel of the roster bubble. The brutal reality of the roster bubble training camp is a dream factory for some, but for others is an absolute executioner. The moment the first official team practices get underway, dozens of careers hang in the balance. The margin for error is razor thin, and the coaching staff has made it abundantly clear that sentimentality has zero place in roster construction. Take the cornerback room, for instance. A crowded group of fierce competitors means that depth players face an uphill battle to prove they belong in the defensive coordinator's complex scheme. Every single rep in team drills is a referendum on their professional survival. Previous tape did not completely convince the coaching staff, meaning every practice rep is a brand new trial. The pressure is equally suffocating on the offensive side of the ball. Veteran tight end prospects and second-year wideouts are desperately trying to carve out a niche in an offense that simply doesn't have enough roster spots to go around. When a team opts to keep numbers lean at specific positions to maximize depth elsewhere, bubble players and developmental talents must become extraordinary overnight. Even under center, security is an illusion. A veteran presence brought in to steady the ship during the spring found themselves trading accuracy for interceptions, opening the door wide open for younger, hungrier arms to steal valuable backup repetitions. Every dropped pass, every missed assignment, and every blown coverage brings these players one agonizing step closer to the dreaded pink slip. The ultimate survival test for veterans as we expand the lens across the entire roster. The sheer volume of players fighting for their football futures is staggering. At the tight end position, roster battles dictate whether the team keeps traditional depth or sacrifices a spot to bolster a different, more volatile unit. Decisions made in the coming weeks will determine who secures a game day uniform and who finds themselves looking for work. Along the trenches and out on the perimeter, young prospects with immense athletic potential face a sink-or-swim reality. Summer standouts from previous years must replicate that magic immediately because the coaching staff is in no mood to wait around for potential to turn into production. Defensive linemen trying to make a name for themselves, veteran cornerbacks fighting off waves of younger competition, and offensive linemen attempting to outshine seasoned journeymen all share the same terrifying realization. One bad practice can end a career. Special teams aces also live on the razor's edge. A player might possess elite traits in the kicking game, but if their foundational position group lacks reliability, the math simply does not work in their favor. From former high-pedigree draft picks trying to reinvent themselves at new positions to late-round hopefuls fighting for a practice squad lifeline, the competition is ruthless. The unforgiving countdown as the pads finally come on and the grueling grind of August officially takes over. Every single storyline intersects at a single point of maximum pressure. Will the front office finalize the blockbuster extension that locks down their defensive cornerstone before the regular season opener? Can the offense translate their newfound spring joy into an offensive masterclass? And who among the long list of roster bubble veterans will miraculously save their jobs, while the rest face the devastating reality of being cut? The answers are coming faster than anyone expects, and the fallout will echo across the entire league. The preparation is over, the games are looming, and survival of the fittest is officially underway.